Good morning, everybody. We're going to get started in about 5-7 minutes. If you've not gotten in line for food, I encourage you to do so. Appreciate you all being here. Again, if you've not gotten in line, please do so. Start finding your seats. We're going to get started in about 5 to 7 minutes. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. We're gonna go ahead and get started. So if everyone can find their seat, I know some folks are still grabbing a cup of coffee. That's great. Got a lot to get to over the next hour. That's pretty quick. That's a record for getting the room quiet. Well, good morning and welcome. I'm Eric Sishow, President and CEO of the Roanoke Regional Chamber of Commerce, and it's my distinct pleasure to welcome you to our annual State of the City Address, a staple in our annual program of work, and a signature opportunity for our regional business community to engage directly with updates from Roanoke's leadership. This event is once again sold out, yes, I believe for the third or fourth year in a row, and we keep breaking records with the crowd. And we'll get to some appreciation for our team at the end, but there's been a lot of moving logistics the last 24 to 48 hours, so we appreciate everybody's patience with some seating issues we had this morning. So for more than 135 years, the Chamber has served the Roanoke region, Roanoke City, Roanoke County, City of Salem, Botetourt County, Franklin County, Town of Rocky Mount, Town of Vinton, and including parts of Bedford, Craig, Floyd, and Montgomery counties. Our mission is simple but powerful: promote, stimulate, improve business. We strive to improve the community and the economy of the current generation for future generations. There's many, many ways we accomplish this, from advocacy to events and everything in between. This event underscores the importance of regionalism, working together across city and county lines to address challenges, create opportunities, and drive economic growth. Roanoke City's success is deeply connected to the resilience of our regional business community, from innovative startups to long-standing enterprises. These businesses create jobs, drive innovation, and invest in our future through philanthropy, workforce development, and civic engagement. We need a strong city of Roanoke to have a strong Botetourt County, just as a simple example. Before we hear from Mayor Joe Cobb, I want to recognize the sponsors who made today possible. Our annual public policy program of work sponsors, Mountain Valley Pipeline, RGC Resources Roanoke Gas, and Lionberger Construction. Our policy impact series sponsor, Glow Fiber. Our presenting sponsor this morning, Appalachian Power. Platinum sponsors, Branch Group, Virginia 811, and our gold sponsors, City of Roanoke Redevelopment and Housing Authority, Cox Communications, First Citizens Bank, Gentry Lock, Marsh & McLennan Agency, and Napoleon Cronk Real Estate Group. Mayor Cobb will shortly recognize our elected officials, so I'm not going to call anybody out because we'll make sure everyone gets recognized. But on behalf of the Chamber and our team, I thank our members of Roanoke City Council and our local, state, and federal representatives for their service to Virginia's Blue Ridge, and ultimately for your attendance today to support our regional business community. And now it's my pleasure to introduce today's featured speaker, our Mayor of the City of Roanoke, Joe Cobb. Reverend Joe Cobb believes our greatest calling as human beings is to love one another by honoring and celebrating what makes us unique and by discovering what we can create together. This calling both inspires and informs his devotion to public service in the Roanoke City region and around the world. Joe previously has served twice as vice mayor and has been a member of City Council since 2018. Joe is a leadership, strategic planning, and community development consultant with Aspire Leadership Consulting. A native of Wichita, Kansas, and we're glad we got him here, Joe has been a resident of Roanoke, Virginia since 2001, where he lives with his husband, James, and their two children, Ginny and JJ, both students in Roanoke City Public Schools. Their family also includes daughter Emma, Connor, Gwen, and son Taylor. Joe has 3 grandchildren, Harper, Jane, William, and Lucy. Joe is the president of GRTC, which is the Greater Roanoke Transit Company Board, chair of the City Council Personnel Committee, member of City Council's Legislative Committee, and is a member of the Board of Directors for the Council of Community Services, Equality Virginia, TAP This Valley Works, Board of Commissioners, and the Southwest Virginia chapter of the American Red Cross, and many, many other civic engagements that Joe's involved in. Joe has a Doctor of Ministry degree from Columbia Theological Seminary in Decatur, Georgia. He also has a Master of Divinity degree from Perkins School of Theology in Dallas, Texas, and a Bachelor of Philosophy degree from Southwestern College in Winfield, Kansas. Joe has penned many published comments and works, including as co-author of Our Family Outing, a memoir of coming out and coming through, written with his former spouse, Reverend Lee Ann Taylor. Please join me in welcoming, for the annual State of the City Address, the Mayor of the City of Roanoke, Joe Cobb, to the stage.
Good morning. For how many of you have you already been up 4 hours? So this is like brunch, right? And for how many of you you made a special exception to be here this early? So Hotel Roanoke is working on providing IVs of caffeine for those who need them this morning. I am so happy to be here this morning to welcome you. I've been thinking about songs I could sing today, like, I'm coming out, I want the world to know, or let's get this party started. You all aren't in a singing mood today. Well, I am really honored to be here, and all I can say is wow. Thank you all for showing up, for being here, for investing in our city, and for making a difference in everything that you do. And I also want to thank those who are watching through live stream on YouTube, on the City of Roanoke's page. We're really happy to have people joining us today. When I arrived in Roanoke 24 years ago and stepped out onto the overlook deck beneath the Mill Mountain Star, I dared to imagine what my life would become in this magical city. Well, I fell in love with Roanoke's beauty, her diversity, her people, and her spirit. When I ran for public office in 2018, I did so because I wanted to give back some of the love Roanoke has shown me. And now I have the high honor of doing so as mayor. I'd like to offer a special word of gratitude to my husband, James, who I met literally the first month that I moved to Roanoke. So we've known each other 24 years, and we've been legally married 8 of those years. So James, where are you? I also want to thank my family, my children, my grandchildren. Their love and support along the way gives me the energy to bring my best to our city. I'm joined in this effort by a remarkable team of colleagues, all of whom are dedicated to making our city and our region the best we can be. Vice Mayor Terry McGuire, I'm going to ask them to stand as they're able to. Vice Mayor Terry McGuire, Councilwoman Vivian Sanchez-Jones, Councilman Peter Volleson, Councilman Fajon Nash, Councilman Nick Hagan, and Councilwoman Evelyn Powers. I appreciate your unique perspectives, your collaboration, and your continued efforts in pursuit of the best for all of our residents, businesses, and visitors. I also want to welcome my predecessor and colleague, the Honorable Mayor Sherman Lee Sr. Mayor Lee. And for the first time in about 8 years, he gets to sit back and enjoy his breakfast. I also want to acknowledge any former Roanoke City Council members that are here today. If you're here with us today, would you please stand? I know Trish White Boyd is here. And Michelle Davis, thank you. So Mayor Lee and colleagues, thank you all for being here and for dedicating so much of your lives to public service for the benefit of our city and our region. In addition, I'd like to introduce other elected officials with us here today. I believe that Congressman Klein's representative is here today, Jennifer Faulkner. There may be other congressional representatives here. I want to recognize Senator David Suderline. Also, delegates Sam Rasool and Joe McNamara, if they're here this morning. I want to introduce from the City of Salem, Mayor Renee Turk and Vice Mayor Anne Marie Green, and other members of the Salem City Council and administration. Thank you. From the town of Vinton, I want to welcome Mayor Brad Gross and members of the Town Council. Would you all please stand? And from Roanoke County, the Board of Supervisors, including Chair David Radford and all the supervisors present this morning, would you please stand? Welcome. Thank you all for your dedicated partnership in making our region shine. I want to personally thank the Roanoke Regional Chamber. its board of directors, and its president and CEO, Eric Sichow, for hosting this outstanding event. Eric, you and your team, Kayla, Ginger, Kelly, Bitsy, and Lynn, are having an amazing year. I commend you for lifting the spirit of our region, for celebrating and advocating for our businesses, large and small, and for locating your new headquarters at Varsity Park, located in one of the city's main growth corridors. I also want to thank two other teams who, due to an event late last night and early this morning, had to come in and set up to transform this space. Along with the chamber team, I'd like to give a big shout out to the amazing leadership and team of Hotel Roanoke. To Brian Wells, our hotel's general manager, and to your staff, congratulations on your 30th anniversary of reopening and for your constant spirit of hospitality. To the city clerk's team from the city of Roanoke, Susie, Cece, Ruth, Jennifer, and Kelly, and to Carol Corbin, our communications manager, and her team, RVTV and Valerie Staten, thank you for developing our opening video that you'll see in just a moment, and for your amazing help in preparing for this State of the City address. We are all here this morning because we love our city and we love our region. So before we go any further, let's take a look at some of the things that make Roanoke so special.
This is Roanoke. Finding creative ways.
Because creativity is born of love, and love will continue to transform our city.
To grow and thrive.
To make sure that we're enhancing the business climate of the current generation for future generations.
She'll do it here at 25. Come on, Roanoke!
Lifting every voice.
Affordable housing is the best ways that our community can combat homelessness.
Through inclusivity.
Welcome to Gainesville, everybody.
With input from our community, we're bringing big improvements to Gainesboro Road.
Tenaciously striving.
Y'all need water? Yes, please.
Giving a voice to those victims who were robbed of their voices.
For progress.
We're here today to celebrate the grand opening of a brand new training center.
And every day, as officers, you will enter the arena, building trust within a community.
We do all of this while yearning.
We're excited to unveil brand new battery electric buses
for a better future.
As we break ground today, we're not just dreaming, we're bringing our dream into reality and growing a healthier, more deeply connected, and loving community.
This is the State of the City of Roanoke 2025.
This is Roanoke. We are creative. We find new ways to inspire, to connect, and to grow. We're inclusive. We work hard to ensure that we're growing a city where everyone has a place to call home and everyone has a voice. We're tenacious. Roanoke has never been afraid of hard work. We roll up our sleeves, we lift each other up, and we press forward, even when the path isn't easy, especially when the path isn't easy. And we are a city that yearns to become the very best we can be. A strong, vibrant city makes for a strong, vibrant region, because together, we make Roanoke shine. This morning, we're going to reflect on the work we've done and the progress we're making together. We're going to talk honestly about the issues we face and how we're addressing them with transparency and with purpose. And we're going to look ahead to the priorities that will define our future and the ways we will continue building a Roanoke that shines brighter for everyone who calls it home. Let's start this morning with creativity. Creativity in Roanoke means more than just how we paint our walls and inspire beauty. It's in how we approach progress, build community, and solve problems. Art honors our history. It tells our stories. And art helps us think outside of the box toward creating transformative and sustainable solutions. Roanoke is quickly becoming the public art destination of Virginia. Look no further than the most recent Bryce Cobb's mural at Melrose Plaza and the mural unveiled last fall at Gainsborough YMCA, co-created with Roanoke City artist and Roanoke City Public School educator J.C. Stallings. Would Bryce and J.C. stand if you're here with us today? Yeah. These works do more than beautify our city. They honor pieces of our forgotten legacies. These works are vibrant, powerful, and reflect our Northwest neighborhoods and the enduring contributions of our residents. And speaking of murals, I must also recognize the impact of Roanoke's muralist in residence, John Merle. John, where are you? There he is, over there. While John has personally worked on at least a dozen murals around the city, what is just as important, if not more, is his service to the city and the arts community as a mentor and a matchmaker of walls and volunteers and technical advice for new muralists. In addition to John's extraordinary work, I also want to commend Rachel Ann Morris for her mural work at the West End Center. Rachel Ann, right over here. And also Katrina Leggins and Brandon Underwood. Katrina and Brandon, were they able to be here this morning? Well, they are working, Katrina actually did her mural work at the bridge near Brown-Robertson Park on 10th Street Northwest, and is currently collaborating with Brandon on the new Washington Park pool house. All of these artists are bringing history and wonder alive in our community. Art makes Roanoke stronger by building community. As the Taubman Museum of Art prepares to launch its 75th anniversary celebrations on New Year's Eve, we celebrate with them the fantastic news, get ready, recognizing them as the #3 best free admission museum in the nation, and the #1 free admission museum in Virginia. We also celebrate the Roanoke Arts Commission's innovative Arts Connect Neighbors program, through which we're not just putting up art, we're building community. There have been over 100 Arts Connect activities held across 24 neighborhoods throughout our city, each one designed to beautify, place-make, and bring people together. That's more than a program, that's a movement. And it's been beautifully curated by local artists Joy Truskowski and Katrina Martinez. I also want to commend local artist Jane Gabrielle McCadden. Jane, I believe you're here this morning. Where are you, Jane? Jane? Thank you for your work as an artist in residence, catalog artist, and for working alongside Brian Coonahan and so many others in growing our one-of-a-kind Daisy Arts Parade. Art turns the everyday into the extraordinary. We see that in the 6 new larger-than-life sculptures at the Elmwood Art Park, where public art is transforming the everyday into the extraordinary. Picture a red stiletto so big you can sit in it. And it's made with repurposed car parts. Or a towering pinwheel that can add a touch of whimsy to anyone's day. But did you know that art can also calm traffic and even improve safety? Last fall, in collaboration with Pedal Safe Roanoke and our transportation division, we brought art to the streets, literally, with a colorful mural on Ferdinand Avenue. This work doesn't just make a statement, it helps calm traffic, increase visibility, and remind us that creativity can drive real change. But creativity isn't limited to art pieces or paint. We're also building momentum through innovation. Roanoke's Innovation Corridor continues to evolve with real investments. This year, we secured an additional $4 million to further advance the biotech lab space. This critical investment will enhance our capacity to attract and support high-growth companies, requiring both wet and dry lab facilities, positioning the city of Roanoke as a key player in the biotechnology sector. Just ask the folks at Tiny Cargo Company, who are proving that big ideas can come in small, mobile packages. In late 2024, Tiny Cargo expanded their operations in Roanoke. The biotech startup out of the Fralin Biomedical Research Institute has been able to grow thanks to strong support from the local research community, access to lab infrastructure, and a collaborative entrepreneurial ecosystem. Their continued success is a testament to our region's ability to nurture early-stage innovation into scalable companies. And I learned just last night, before I tell you this, is Spencer here? Was Spencer able to make it this morning? There he is, Spencer Marsh, right back here with Tiny Cargo. So I just learned last evening that when we think about venture capital angel investors, or our Commonwealth angels here locally, oftentimes these angel investors want companies to move to where they are. But Spencer Marsh believes in Roanoke so deeply that he said, I need you to come to where I want to be. And so that adds even greater purpose and appreciation to people like Spencer and all of the companies that want to live, work, play, and research right here in Roanoke. Innovation is leading Roanoke's exciting growth. And I'd like to recognize some key people who are making this happen. Mark Nelson, our Director of Economic Development, Aaron Burcham, CEO, Roanoke Blacksburg Innovation Alliance, Aileen Helsel, Carillion Clinic Director of Innovation, and I believe Aileen is here this morning, John Hagee, Director of RAMP Accelerator Program, and Dr. Amy White, Dean of STEM at Virginia Western Community College. Joining these dynamic leaders are trailblazers, moving us forward in healthcare innovation, state-of-the-art research, and medical education. With the newly opened Crystal Spring Tower, Carillion Clinic is leading the way in cardiac care and an expanded emergency department, and has broken ground on the new Carillion-Taubman Cancer Center. Thank you, CEO Steve Arner, CFO Don Hallowell, Dr. Tony Seapol, and your amazing team for your leadership. Let's give them a great round of applause. The Fralin Biomedical Research Institute and the Virginia Tech Carillion School of Medicine continue to grow in their reach and impact on the national and global scale. And I want to pause and thank Dr. Mike Friedlander and Dean Lee Learman, along with their amazing teams. If you're a part of that team, would you please stand? Additionally, on the economic development front, creativity also means reimagining what's possible. Roanoke will utilize grant funding from the U.S. Department of Transportation to evaluate city-owned property around the downtown Amtrak station, with the goal of creating a plan to transform this area into a vibrant transit hub and gateway to the city for our visitors. This could be a game changer for how we move, connect, and grow as a city and a region. Additionally, the Economic Development Authority was awarded $1 million in state funding to support the revitalization of the former Walker Machine and Foundry site in Norwich on behalf of developer Greg Cackness and the Foundry Realty LLC. Development plans for the Foundry project will bring amenities, jobs, and economic activity to the Norwich neighborhood, right on the Greenway. And in the spirit of supporting our dreams, last year, the EDA, or the Economic Development Authority, awarded $200,000 to 12 local businesses, helping them purchase equipment that expands what they can do and who they can hire. From a fabric laser cutting table for a parachute company, to forklifts, to a meat grinder for a butcher shop. These grants are fueling small business success, and they remind us that entrepreneurship is a powerful creative force. Much of our economic growth as a city is inspired by the work of our fantastic economic development team. And I'd like to invite them to stand. This team understands that growing a sustainable local economy is about building relationships. These relationships, both long-term and short-term, connect business owners and entrepreneurs with the resources they need to do business in Roanoke. Over the last year, we've celebrated some important economic milestones, and we've opened some exciting new pathways for business, including the new Amazon distribution facility in the Roanoke Center for Industry and Technology. Brandon Avenue Partners, the new home for Roanoke Oral Surgery, River Ridge Dermatology, and Donnie D's Bagels. The ongoing emerging growth and investment in Riverdale. The newly refurbished Colony House Motor Lodge. Rainy Day Books, Sun and Spruce, located in 16 West downtown, including the new Slap Shop, a pottery shop. Kind Baking Company, expanding operations in Wasena. Jaybird Tavern, the third restaurant opened by Jason Martin in downtown Roanoke. And then we're happy to welcome banks in our city. National Bank of Blacksburg, the first branch in the Roanoke region, and Ridgeview Bank, all along the Franklin Road corridor. Show Pony, a new restaurant in Grandin Village, and Heirloom Home, bringing its unique designs to our city, and that's just a few. Add to this our dynamic regional economic leadership teams, including the work of the Roanoke Regional Partnership with Executive Director John Hull and his team, Visit Virginia's Blue Ridge, and their current collaborative study with the partnership on economy and tourism, and the collaborative retail study being shared by our city, Roanoke County, and Salem. Together, we're moving forward in exciting ways. To all of our businesses, large and small, thank you for your investment in our city. We are here to work with you to make doing business in our city as effective as possible and to help you thrive. Though Virginia slipped to number 4 as the best state to do business with in the nation, I and City Council are committed to working with you toward making Roanoke the number 1 city in which to do business in Virginia. One of the ways we're working to do this is through the return of the Mayor's Business Summit. This spring in the historic Dumas Center on Henry Street, over 100 existing and prospective small business owners attended this free event, offering information, strategies, and networking opportunities. I'm happy to announce that in partnership with Virginia Western Community College, there will be a fall summit held on September 22nd, and registration is open. Here with us today is the new president of Virginia Western Community College, Dr. Laura Traynor. Please join me in welcoming her. We are so excited to welcome you to Roanoke and for the future opportunities your leadership will provide for our region. This is what it means to be a creative city, to be both expressive and innovative, imaginative and impactful. Creativity is a thread that connects our past to our present and unites our community because together we make Roanoke shine. Roanoke is also a city that believes everyone belongs. DEI is in our DNA. These aren't just acronyms. Our city's DNA is one of diversity and inclusion, and our commitment to equity is an essential best practice of the work we do together. It's a belief into how we educate, how we plan, and how we care for one another. We are an inclusive city. We are an 8-time All-America city. We are the first Hall of Fame All-America city. We are a certified welcoming city, the only one in Virginia and one of 28 in the nation. Part of what makes our city inclusive is our diverse student population. This year, Roanoke City Public Schools completed their Equity in Action Plan, a bold and intentional roadmap ensuring every student, regardless of background or zip code, has access to opportunity, support, and success. Following the opening of the Daytech Center near the William Fleming campus in Northwest Roanoke in 2023, this year, RCPS moved into its new administration building, the William B. Robertson Building, downtown Roanoke, bringing their leadership and operations into the heart of the city. And they will officially open the Community Empowerment Center at the original Lucy Addison High School, a space where families can access resources, connect with services, and feel seen, supported, and heard. I'd like to take a moment to recognize our visionary superintendent of our Roanoke City Public Schools, Dr. Verlita White. Inspired by her leadership and the collaborative leadership of the RCPS School Board and City Council, RCPS has expanded access to high-quality education to its students while deepening its connection and support in the community. I'd like to take a moment to recognize all of our school's leadership team and our school board trustees who are here this morning. Would you please stand so that we can recognize you and thank you. As last week's RCPS convocation reminded us, our work is anchored in the purpose of educating our students to reach their full potential and thrive. Whatever our role in a child's life, we are meant to love each student with a love that sees within them what they may not yet see within themselves. A gift to this world with a purpose to do something good and beautiful through their lives. When it comes to other special beings in our lives, that brings us joy. We celebrate our pets. We're so happy that Angels of Assisi has moved into their new location. But we also want to celebrate animals from around the world, especially those endangered ones who find a safe and loving respite at our beloved Mill Mountain Zoo. Earlier this year, we joined in celebrating the zoo's enhanced accessibility with the opening of a beautifully transformed, fully accessible skyline stage. The zoo is also home to a new porcupine family. Monty the sloth, Pork Chop the otter, who just welcomed his new girlfriend Judy, and our 2 brand new lemurs. The zoo was able to open the favorite Zoo Chew, and with their expanded educational programs and summer camps, we are so lucky to have the Mill Mountain Zoo in Roanoke. And in Roanoke, we know that a home is not just a place to live, it's a place to create a life and find community, a place where dignity and stability and opportunity begin. Last year, we made progressive zoning updates to encourage the development of the missing middle housing, duplexes, triplexes, ADUs, and multifamily units. These smaller, more affordable housing types can help us increase availability and improve access to housing without compromising the character of our neighborhoods. In the year after these changes took effect, our permit center received applications for roughly 1,400 new units, both single-family and multifamily, ranging from the largest multifamily development in our city's history being built now along Route 460. Of these permits, 36 units were made possible by these zoning amendments. While it's not a large number, it reflects exactly what we expected to see through these amendments: a gentle, gradual increase that would result in additional housing without overwhelming existing communities. Increasing access to housing, especially affordable housing, is work that would not be possible without a network of community partners. From TAP and Habitat for Humanity to Renovation Alliance and Restoration Housing and public-private partnerships. I'd like to highlight a few key projects that are addressing the housing challenges we're facing head-on. First, through enabling legislation by the General Assembly, Roanoke was granted authority to create a land bank, which is operated by TAP. Through properties transferred into the land bank, we have worked with Habitat for Humanity to build numerous new homes within the Belmont-Fallon target area in southeast Roanoke. A second example of new housing is the rehabilitation of Trinity United Methodist Church in Old Southwest Historic District. The congregation of Trinity United Methodist made the visionary decision, in partnership with Restoration Housing, to transform their beloved home into new housing. Using CDBG funds alongside historic tax credits, the project is transforming the 2-story church annex into 15 affordable rental apartments for low-income seniors. Then there is the Grove on Patterson, a unique partnership between Restoration Housing, Carilion Clinic, and Anderson Treatment, worked together to reestablish the services formerly provided by Bethany Hall to treat pregnant and postpartum women with substance use disorder in their infants. The City of Roanoke partnered with Roanoke County, was awarded a grant from the Virginia Opioid Abatement Authority to support the rehabilitation project with $225,000. This partnership continues with funding from the opioid settlement funds being used to support the operation of the facility. The zoning updates followed amendments that also opened the door to residential development along commercial corridors. Places once considered too rigidly zoned are now welcoming new life through projects in Northeast Roanoke, like the Heights at Gateway Park, developed from a rundown hotel off Orange Avenue, and the Lee Theater lofts along Williamson Road. Together, these projects signal a shift toward a city where more people can live, work, and belong, where housing is not a privilege for some, but a foundation for all. In addition to our commitment to expanding options for housing, we also saw the expansion of vital services into Northwest Roanoke with the official grand opening of Melrose Plaza. This project was identified as a critical big lift by the Star City Strong panel made up of citizens of Roanoke and brought to life by the leadership and dedicated work of Goodwill Industries of the Valleys, with the team from Melrose Plaza and Goodwill Industries. If you're here this morning, would you please stand? Home to the Market at Melrose, the Excel Center, Virginia's first adult high school, Bank of Botetourt, the Wellness Center, the Harrison Museum of African American Culture, and the Melrose Branch Library. This landmark project is just the beginning of more exciting economic development possibilities in Northwest and throughout our city. If we truly want to tackle the roots of gun violence, poverty, and health disparities, we need more of this. We need to continue investing in housing, economic development, and equity across our city. These are just a few examples of what inclusion looks like. It's schools that reflect the diversity of our children. It's zoning that reflects the needs of our people. It's development that honors history while building for the future. Because inclusion isn't just a value we talk about, it's a promise we keep. And it's a promise that helps Roanoke shine. Roanoke is a tenacious city. When we are faced with a challenge, we meet it head on and we face it together. The spirit of tenacity is reflected in the commitment and work ethic of the people who lead and serve this city every single day. I want to take a moment and recognize our new city manager, Miss Val Marie Turner. Please stand. And her leadership team, Deputy City Managers Angie O'Brien and Sam Roman. Thank you for stepping into your roles with courage, focus, and a clear commitment to Roanoke's future. And to our city employees, thank you. You are phenomenal. You keep the wheels turning, the streets clean, and the essential services running. Day in and day out, you put in extraordinary effort, not for recognition, but because you care deeply about the people who call Roanoke home. I'd like to invite all of our city employees present here this morning to please wave or stand. Thank you all. Another way this visible daily commitment to care and connect can be seen is right here in the heart of our city, through the Downtown Ambassadors. This program, funded through a partnership with Downtown Roanoke, Inc., Visit Virginia's Blue Ridge, City of Roanoke, is comprised of a small but dedicated team who are out there every day, helping visitors navigate the downtown district, assist businesses, check on unhoused individuals, and keep downtown clean and welcoming. Some of us even got to go down a fabulous water slide this summer to help raise funds and support their work. This team is beautifying our city, building trust, creating community, and showing that tenacity sometimes looks like a warm hello and a steady presence. So I'd like to thank Tina Workman for bringing this idea to our city. And I'd like to invite the Downtown Ambassadors team who are here with us this morning to please stand so that we can appropriately thank them for their amazing work. Thank you all for your faithful dedication to helping our downtown and our city shine. Our tenacity as a city is exemplified in the ways we work together to face some of our complex challenges: gun violence, substance use disorder, and homelessness. 5 years ago, we began to create a pathway toward a safer community through a reduction in gun violence. Through a true team effort between local government and citizen engagement, with significant support from our state government, we've created sustainable prevention, intervention, and response efforts, leading to a reduction in violent crime, and in the last 2 years, a 65% reduction in gun violence-related homicides and a 55% reduction in gun violence injuries. And we just received word that our Safer Communities grant, over $2 million, which supports these efforts, was renewed. While this is good news, we must increase our efforts with our neighbors in Northwest Roanoke, who continue to experience higher rates of gun violence. Too many lives are being lost to violence. It is my hope that within the next 3 years, through our collaborative efforts, we will see a 50% reduction of gun violence in Northwest Roanoke, so that our violence reduction is there and everywhere throughout our city. I'd like to thank our Roanoke Police Department and our Sheriff's Office. Chief Scott Booth and Sheriff Antonio Hash, would you please stand and remain standing for a moment? I'm going to have some other people stand. I want to thank you both for your dedicated partnership and community engagement. To Chris Roberts and our Youth Prevention and Intervention Street team. To Lloyd Merchant and our Reset team. To Jeffrey Powell, Jennifer White, and Narik Bailey for envisioning and championing our city's Teen Apprentice program, which hires teens to learn soft and hard skills through our HR department and then places them as paid interns in city departments over a 3-month period, which often lead to permanent jobs with the City of Roanoke. These efforts, along with the continued leadership of our Gun Violence Prevention Commission and all of our community partners, is leading to a safer Roanoke. Would all of our police department that's here today, our sheriff's department, and our fire and EMS departments, would you all please stand? Let's thank them for their commitment to a safer Roanoke. A second significant challenge we're facing is related to substance use disorder. When Roanoke native Beth Macy's New York Times bestseller Dope Sick outlined the ravages of opioid addiction, we moved as quickly as we could to prepare for the challenges being seen here in the city and in our region, in fact, throughout the nation. Our region formed the Roanoke Valley Collective Response, and through an evidence-based and proactive blueprint for action, we are making strides in addressing and reducing our overdose rates and fatalities. Some of this work is due in part to organizations like the Bradley Free Clinic's HOPE Initiative, the Virginia Harm Reduction Coalition, and the Council of Community Services Drop-In Center. These harm reduction programs are dedicated to meeting people where they are, working with them to find a pathway to treatment and to recovery. Alongside effective treatment programs in the area, like Anderson and Associates and Brightview Clinic, we're seeing more lives saved every day. Again, I'd like to thank especially our fire and EMS professionals led by Chief David Hoback, because you are our frontline first responders to this challenge, in addition to everything you do every day to keep our city safe and healthy. Finally, perhaps the greatest challenge our city and region faces is the one that's hardest for us to see. because it beckons us to face our greatest fear and vulnerability, the experience of being homeless. It only takes one incident: loss of job, medical emergency, death in a family, broken down car, mental health diagnosis, eviction, for someone to become homeless. During the latest winter point-in-time count, 342 individuals were identified as experiencing homelessness in our community. While that number reflects the ongoing challenges of housing instability, it also underscores the importance of the work being done locally. Last year alone, our homeless assistance team directly housed 265 individuals and provided over $100,000 in move-in assistance, helping neighbors transition from homelessness into safe, stable housing. By 2019, our region had achieved a 60% reduction in homelessness. However, since COVID, communities nationwide, including ours, have seen a steady rise again. Here are our challenges. Reducing and ending homelessness can only occur through a regional effort focused on creating new housing and life-giving services. Our city's homeless assistance team provides outreach to the city and our neighboring localities, yet it is only currently funded through federal grants and the City of Roanoke. I am hopeful that our sister localities across our Blue Ridge continuum of care will continue to find ways to provide funding support as well as housing support as we tackle this issue together. We must also advocate that Congress continue support for HUD CDBG funding. The proposed elimination of such funding would be devastating for our citizens and would only exacerbate the current challenges that we're facing. With the recent formation of the Hope and Home Task Force, we are engaging our larger community, working alongside our amazing community partners who work on the front lines every day to move our neighbors from homelessness into housing with supportive services, employment opportunities, and sustainable housing, to address both the stigma and myths surrounding homelessness while expanding our approaches to helping people find their way home. I am hopeful that we will reach the reduction numbers that we saw pre-COVID within the next 5 years in the city and in our region. Because we are a tenacious city, we are committed to addressing the root causes of gun violence, substance use disorder, and homelessness, because they are intertwined and they are breaking apart our families and our community. The same spirit of tenacity shows up in our infrastructure, not only how we care for one another, but how we build our city to make it more accessible and livable. When we invest in our parks, bridges, streets, and greenways, we're building equity and resilience and improving quality of life. This year, we've taken some bold and exciting steps. We celebrated the opening of the Washington Park Pool in Northwest Roanoke. Just in time for summer season, offering updated amenities like the lazy river, zero entry area with fountains, the lap lanes, and a water slide. Momentum continues on the Wasena Bridge Replacement Project. I know, we're all ready for this construction to be done and get back into our travel routines on that wonderful bridge. And we are on pace for that bridge to be open mid-next year. But for now, you can see the foundation for the new roadway stretching over the first 3 piers, showing us that safer, smoother travel is on the horizon. And through the advocacy of people of all ages, we are so excited that the long-anticipated state-of-the-art skate park is taking shape. And this was made possible through a regional partnership with the City of Salem and the town of Vinton. I can't wait to see Mayor Turk and Mayor Gross on their skateboards in that park. And will provide a dynamic outlet for creativity and safe recreation. We are on target for opening the park later this year. We're making good progress on the redevelopment of the Rika Park Recreation Center and anticipate a grand opening in the spring of 2026. Streetscape upgrades are in progress on 9th Street in Southeast and Gainsborough Road, beautifying neighborhoods, increasing access to multimodal transportation, and ultimately improving safety along these major corridors. And we proudly completed the Tinker Creek Greenway extension, a transformative project that added trail mileage and delivered increased accessibility. And when USA Cycling came to our region this summer, Roanoke County, the city of Roanoke, and Botetourt for their mountain bike national championships, we welcomed them to downtown Roanoke by installing permanent rock features at Elmwood Park and converting Elmwood and surrounding streets into a full short track race for competitors. Our thanks to a great partnership between USA Cycling, Visit Virginia's Blue Ridge, the Roanoke Regional Partnership, and all of our partner localities. This is what tenacity looks like. It's not always quick, it's not always easy, but it's always grounded in the belief that Roanoke can and will do what's necessary to rise and serve our community at the highest level. Because our strength is in our people, it's in our partnerships, it's in our steadfast commitment to tackling issues that don't have quick fixes, and we do it head on. Because when we work together, we make Roanoke shine. At our core, Roanoke is a city that refuses to stand still. We are constantly yearning, striving to improve how we move, how we protect, how we connect, and how we prepare for the future. This year, Valley Metro celebrates its 50th anniversary of providing transit service. We put 3 new electric buses on the road, reducing emissions and expanding access. Metroflex, our new microtransit partnership with Radar, has extended transit hours to 12:45 a.m. Monday through Saturday, and for the first time in 40 years offers transit service on Sundays from 9 to 6. We believe in this investment because every resident deserves reliable, affordable transportation, whether they're commuting to work, driving to school, or to a doctor's appointment. We're grateful to our partners in Salem and Vinton for investing in transit, and I'd love to work with our neighbors in the county to explore potentially piloting microtransit service on some of our key corridors that connect us, to not only provide access for employers and employees, but to provide connection for citizens who live and work in our city and county and would welcome increased access to services in both. When we work together, anything is possible. And when our city is strong, our region is strong. We're also pushing forward progress on our Vision Zero plan because no loss of life on our roadways is acceptable. Through the Complete Streets model, we're evaluating roadway designs that are safer for everyone. Safer for pedestrians, for cyclists, for kids walking to school or riding a bike, and for people catching a bus. Roanoke is proudly multimodal. You see it on the greenways, in our bike lanes, and in the growing number of people choosing alternative ways to get around. And if you've ever seen a group of neighbors walking with trash bags and picking up sticks, you've witnessed a plocking in action. Plockers have been a mainstay in Roanoke, building community and making our city cleaner and safer, one stride at a time. Speaking of cleaner and greener, our stormwater division is quietly doing some of the most important work in our city. They're keeping streets clear, waterways healthy, and neighborhoods safer by investing in infrastructure that makes us more flood resilient. With climate events becoming more frequent and more extreme, this work is not optional, it's essential. And on the eve of the anniversary of Hurricane Michael and the flood of 1985, we are even more so reminded of what could happen in our valley if we do not take action. Following 3 major storm events during the past year, including the remnants of Hurricanes Debbie and Helene, crews from across the city were clearing down trees, monitoring flooded streets, and evaluating the greenway. Get ready for this. During that time, Roanoke Stormwater removed around 400 tons of debris from bridges throughout our city. That's quite a response to single events. But it's also happening every day through the removal of thousands of tons of debris from our creeks, ditches, storm drains, and roadways, through scheduled cleanups and street sweeping. These routine operations and maintenance, along with the notable progress on our capital drainage and construction projects across our city, is working to protect our homes, environment, and our future. Please join me in thanking Battalion Chief Trevor Shannon and our emergency management specialists and our stormwater team for keeping our community informed and safe. Battalion Chief Shannon. Doing better means each of us are doing our part. Roanoke doesn't shine because of one person or because of our policies and programs. It shines because all of us together make it happen. Roanoke is a city that faces its challenges together and with courage. Whether recovering from economic shifts, investing in equity and infrastructure, or working together to prevent violence and build opportunity for all, we are resilient and unafraid of making hard choices. We honor our history while making room for healing and growth. So today, here's my challenge for you. Think of something you can do to make Roanoke shine. Just one thing. Maybe it's reaching out to a neighbor. Maybe it's serving on a board or a commission. Or maybe it's volunteering. Or maybe it's doing what you do already every day. Whatever it is, do it. Own it. Begin. Because when you engage, when we show up, when we act, Roanoke shines brighter. Before you leave today, I want to invite you to help us shape the next chapter of this conversation. You'll see a QR code on the screen. Go ahead and get your phones out. Take a picture of that baby. And we'll also have these QR codes available as you leave by the doors today. But I'd love for you to take a moment and scan this QR code and share your thoughts. This isn't just about me giving a speech. This is about us working together to create the best city, the best region we want to be. So think about these questions. What does it mean to you for Roanoke to be creative, inclusive, tenacious, and committed and yearning to do more and to be better? Your input helps guide our work and ground our goals in the voices of this community. Thank you all for being here this morning. Thank you for believing in our city and in our region. Thank you for making a difference every day in the lives of our neighbors. Together, we make Roanoke shine. Thank you, and have an amazing day.
I do have brief remarks, but they're not on the teleprompter. Thank you, Mayor Cobb. We appreciate your remarks today and look forward to working together towards continued economic growth in the city of Roanoke, and the regional business community is excited to make that happen. I really think Joe summed it up perfectly about all the great things that are happening in our city and why it's important for our regions to work together. So, Joe, thanks for continuing to hit on that. Just one additional item to note, today's State of the City address will be replayed on RVTV on Thursday, today, August 21st at 7 p.m. Saturday, the 23rd, 10 a.m. and 7 p.m., and Monday, August 25th at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. You can also find a recording of this event on the City of Roanoke's Facebook page or at rvtv.org/Roanoke. Again, thank you to all of our sponsors, our Public Policy Program of Work sponsors, our presenting sponsor, Appalachian Power, our platinum sponsors, Branch Group and Virginia 811, our gold sponsors, City of Roanoke Redevelopment and Housing Authority, Cox Communications, First Citizens Bank, Gentry Lock, Marsh & McLennan Agency, and Poe & Cronk Real Estate Group. And just a final thank you and ask for appreciation for our team, specifically Kayla and Kelly. As mentioned in the beginning, there's a lot of moving logistics for all of our chamber events, specifically our pillar events that have multiple hundreds of folks. And to try to build a seating chart for this is next to impossible. So if we can give some appreciation to our chamber team, Kayla, Kelly, Ginger, Lynn, and Bitsy. They're really the backbone. They make us look good. They're really the backbone that makes our chamber events happen. Our numerous ambassadors, there's many ambassadors here today that help set these things up. So I appreciate our ambassadors, our board of directors, continues to be supportive of our team and our mission and our vision of how we're going to move forward and how we're going to continue to be, I like the word tenacious, and how we're going to be aggressive and positive towards what we're building in the future. So thank you all for being here this morning. Have a great rest of the week. Enjoy as we get into the fall season. I'll do my non-paid spokesman ask for, if we're traveling this fall, we have a wonderful airport right up the road, and we need to make sure that we're flying ROA. So have a great day. Stay safe. We'll see you soon.